Have you ever been told that you're too sensitive? Well, I want you to know that if you've ever been told that by anyone, that you are to ignore that comment or accusation and to take the level of sensitivity that you have and to use it in your favor to build relationships, friendships, a clientele, whatever it may be. My name is Laura Bailey, and I work in Los Angeles. My business is Trunks to Treasures. I've been an estate sale person for over 15 years, and I want to build a community of people that love estate sales, but not just love the treasure hunting aspect of it or the reselling aspect of it, or just, enjoying the process of shopping at an estate sale. I want to build a community of people that are interested in what goes on behind the scenes of an estate sale. I have yet to find really any estate sale company talk about some of the more personal aspects of what takes place when holding an estate sale. So let's get back to being too sensitive. My whole life, you're too sensitive, you're too sensitive, you're too sensitive. I have heard that from mostly family members and certainly ex-partners of mine. And what I have found 100% of the time is that that is a form of deflection, because the person who's saying it to me doesn't want to deal with their own sense of hurt or anger or whatever is going on with them. And so they want to turn the tables and flip it onto me and say, I'm being too sensitive. Well, I'm here to say that if anyone has ever heard those words before, please don't listen to anybody about being too sensitive. In fact, listen to me. I'm glad you're too sensitive. I'm glad you're a sensitive person, because being sensitive means you're empathetic to other people and that you genuinely care about other people. And even if your feelings get hurt more easily, that's okay too. Who cares? I would rather have the ability to feel deeply than to have a tougher skin and to go through life protecting myself all the time. But how does that relate to business? In my business, it has carried me very far. I just got back from an appointment. This is the second time I've met with this family. Typically, I move into building out a formal contract after the second appointment. The first appointment is where I'm meeting the client, they're getting to know me, and I'm starting to see what the project scope is going to be for their particular estate sale. The second appointment is when I go back and it's going to be the final walkthrough. Perhaps we've already agreed that we're probably going to work together, but with the caveat that I need to see what is actually left in that house after all of the family members have taken what they're going to take and everything's been moved out. And then now I can actually see the scope of the project. And quite often, first appointment and second appointment could be very different from one another. The reason why I wanted to choose being sensitive as a topic of conversation is because it is so important to be sensitive in my line of business. It is also very important to be extremely professional, and it's important to have a balance of both. And I have come across so many people in my line of work that they just churn estate sales out left and right, and it's very cookie cutter. And for some companies, that's perfectly fine. I know great estate sale professionals who just have a system. They've got loads of people that work for them, and they can just get in there, get the job done, get out, and they're in and out of there within 2 weeks. However, there are a few people that, although they have the ability to do that, they lack the sensitivity that it takes to really connect with a family. Now, the women that I'm talking to, the daughters of their mother that passed, they're young. And I'm going to consider myself young in this scenario because they're about my age, possibly a couple of years younger than me. But I find that even if you're in your mid to late 50s self, that at this stage in our life, it's still our parents could still be relatively young. And they lost their mother unexpectedly. They had no idea. There wasn't like an illness or anything like that. And so it was very shocking and jarring to them. And they loved their mother dearly. And it has been a very, very difficult grieving process for them. I wanted to bring up sensitivity because the woman that I'm talking to, my now client, was telling me about the estate sale person that they met with, just that their realtor wanted to refer. I don't know about recommend, but refer. And she told me about her. And she said, they called her the mean lady. That's what they nicknamed her, the mean lady. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine walking into a home of grieving family members who lost their mother and coming across as anything less than empathetic, sensitive, kind, compassionate, to the point where you're pushing your business so hard and a narrative so hard that you've forgotten why you're actually there. Now, I understand that business is business. I can do business. I'm comfortable being extremely professional. You have to be professional in my business. You've got to know how to write up a contract, deliver it, go through it. You need to know about the legal aspect of any estate sale, how to talk to realtors, how to talk to attorneys, how to talk to disgruntled family members, how to identify all these people. There is a high level of professionalism that takes place in my business. But it's very, very important to be able to do both, which is to be professional while at the same time being empathetic and sensitive to the needs of your client. And when I arrived at my appointment with my new client today, she let me know she was feeling extremely emotional and that today is a significant day for her because it's going to be the last day that she is going to be in her family home before she hands it over to the professionals like myself, the realtor, and so forth. That's a big deal. That's a big deal to know that the next time she sees that house, it's going to look completely different than what she's accustomed to. And so I let her have that moment and that space, and kind of we talked about it a little bit and we shared a little bit about that. And that it takes the ability to be sensitive and to identify those characteristics in somebody else and to even connect in that way. So that is why I wanted to talk about being sensitive. I'm a very sensitive person. I can cry very easily, and I don't think it's anyone's business to accuse anyone of being too sensitive. It has gotten me far, and I value that quality within myself. And I want to share with anyone that's ever been spoken to in that way that it's okay for you to be sensitive too. And if you're in business, it's also important to be a sensitive person. No one has to be cutthroat to be successful in life. You can be a whole lot of things. And I think I've outlined those pretty well. So please stay tuned. This home that I'm going to be working in, it's a really beautiful home. It's not a huge estate sale. It's a lovely home. There isn't a lot there for me to sell. However, the things that are there have an amazing history, amazing family history, like literally historically. There's more information about this family that I learned today, and I'm going to be fascinated by it. But stay tuned. I'm looking forward to sharing this next estate sale with you. And again, if you enjoy this type of content, please like and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate the support and, of course, any feedback that you have or would like to share with me.